Hi guys, this is Dr. Sadasivam once again with you, and today I'm going to discuss with you, share with you very important about the stock market, and whatever data I will be presenting to you, it is all from Madhu Kela, who is one of the most renowned investors, and I will be reflecting his thoughts to you. What he says is that as on date, FII, which means the foreign institutional investors, the money that they have taken away along with them, the selling that we are witnessing, we have never seen that in the past. Even if you look at today's market, it has come down to 16,000 levels. Initially, we had a feeling that the market was going up, but over the last it fell to such a level, and it's not something that is happening today. On a daily basis this is happening, and there is so much volatility in the market. A lot of people are talking about FII selling, and that's absolutely correct, and it is extremely important to keep this in mind, that in spite of such a selling, the market has been very resilient. They have sold more than 3.25 lakh crores. I'm mentioning that once again, 3.25 lakh crores in the secondary market. FIIs have sold in the domestic market and they have gone away. Ram Ram Ji ki. Listen to me very carefully. This money in the last 10 years, that is from 2011 to 2021, whatever they had invested in 10 years, they have taken away in 8 months. This is a very clear statistics. If you have any doubts, you can hear CNBC. It is 3.25 trillion rupees, not dollars, right? 3.25 trillion rupees. Now so many shares, so much of money has been sold and gone away. But that doesn't mean Indian market has a problem. There are lots and lots of reasons. Geopolitical reasons, global meltdown is happening. There are investment concerns throughout the country, throughout the world. So it is quite possible that FIIs had got into severe losses in maybe some markets outside. Doesn't mean that they don't have any faith in the Indian market. It is quite possible that they might have invested. They don't invest all their money here, right? A percentage of that comes to the Indian market. Even we do that. When there is a big problem, people sell their houses, people sell their jewelry, in terms of necessity. Doesn't mean that the house is not good, but sometimes to cover up the losses they have to do that. So it could be possible that FIIs are selling with that objective. We are not sure about that. Now they had, major selling has happened, which we are witnessing in the last 8 months. In fact, if you remember, there was a crisis in 2007, most famously known as Lehman Brothers. Even during those days, they had taken up a lot of money and the Indian market tanked by 50%. That too, their investments were not very huge. I don't have those figures with me. But in spite of that, our markets tanked by more than 50%. And in today's date, 3.25 trillion rupees they have taken away. But in spite of that, the Indian market has dropped only 15%. I'm talking about Nifty, right? This clearly reflects the strength of our Indian market. It shows the resilience of our market, and have faith. We have the right government in place. We have the right commerce minister, finance minister, railway ministers. All the government machineries are working very well. GST is on the increase. Tax collections are increasing. Tax evasions are coming down. Corruption is coming down. And in the world level, India is taking a very prominent place in the world level, right? I have sung a lot of songs about India. Otherwise, people will start calling me as Bhakt Sahab, which always happens, right? My job as a trainer is to, place the facts in front of you, and you can make your own inferences. Okay, ji. हर हर महादेव उसका भक्त तो मैं आयु मैं नाम भी सदाशिवम है One thing please remember, there's something called as a short term and long term. In the market, short term always moves on the basis of liquidity and long term moves on the basis of balance sheet, PBAT, etc. But in the short term, sentiments play a very important role because that drives the stock market. If you look at the median valuations for the last few months, the valuations used to be 22, 23, 25. But after this correction, if you remember, it started from October 2021 when Nifty had reached 18,700. After that, it has been sliding down and today we are hovering around 16,000, right? PE valuation went up to 23, 25, but now they have come down, and if you look at 1 year forward earnings in Nifty, it is only 15 times, not much. So after 10 years, after a decade, in the broader stocks, you are seeing good earnings. And for a very long time, we have been seeing, when will the corporate earning happen? When will the corporate earnings happen? There were some issues after demonetization, after GST. In economics, it's generally called as a hockey curve. Whenever you bring in big reforms, there will be a slight dip, like a hockey stick, and then it will start going up, right? So from 2017, 2018, started slightly going down. Look at automobile sector, it has not grown. But when there was a place to raise the head, COVID came and stuck us like anything, not just us, the whole world, my dear friends. Everything came to a standstill. But now if you see, valuations have been set right, and India is also gaining a lot of importance. Wherever Modi ji goes, he commands such a big respect. But even Biden does not command so much of a respect wherever he goes. When he goes to Australia, he's being welcomed as if Michael Jackson is doing a concert. He goes to Japan, he's being treated as a hero. He goes to Germany, every European leader wants to come and hug him, embrace him. Everybody comes to him. Right, he's given a hero welcome wherever he goes, right? Children, everybody says he is my friend, he is my cause. Those, the Israeli Prime Minister, the US Prime Minister, Trump, Biden. Let's leave Modi ji, otherwise we will talk about India. Everything is going on fine. Valuations have come down. Some people feel that headlines are not very optimistic. Obviously, when you look at headlines, someday there is an inflation, someday there is a Russian war, some days there is a wheat problem, someday there is a interest rates rising, other problems. RBI governor comes and says interest rates have increased. JP Morgan says GDP has been revised. All that will keep happening, guys. But please remember, you cannot base your investment decisions based on the headline news. Because this is a market. There are a lot of things. Balance sheet, P&L, PBAT, etc., etc. But based on the news lines, share market goes up and down. One day it goes up by 400 points. The next day it comes down by 300%. Next day it goes up by 600 points. Has there been any change in companies' balance sheets? Absolutely nothing. You go to the market, there is no problem. The same salary is coming, rent is going. But why is the market jumping? These are all emotions and sentiments, and it will be foolish of us if we base our investment decisions based on the headline news. Certain things we have to keep in mind. This is Madhu Kela Saab's advice. Last year people have made very good returns, but that doesn't mean you have become a master in the share market. You cannot extrapolate your past success, right? You have to bring down your expectation. Every mother wants her son to become a topper in IIT. There are 15 lakh people by. There can be only one topper. So you have to reduce your expectations, right? If you have 15 stocks, you cannot expect all the 15 stocks to give you good returns, right? We have to have reasonable expectations. Please moderate your expectations and don't try to become a Warren Buffett, right? Keep conviction in the Indian market, and Indian market is extremely good. Keep faith in the Indian market. Worldwide, there are lots and lots of corrections that are happening. Let me also give you some statistics about the world. in the world, 50% of the companies in NASDAQ, there are more than 3,800 companies. They have corrected by more than 50%. 50% of the companies in NASDAQ, which means 3,800 companies, means approximately 1,900 companies, they have fallen by more than 50%, guys. Even in India, if not that much, even here, 30% of the companies have corrected by more than 50%. And there are some people who are waiting for the market to reach the bottom. Guys, nobody knows where the bottom is. Big people have failed exploring the bottom. Warren Buffett has failed. Therefore, in my opinion, nobody will know where the bottom is. There are 500 variables. Where will you play on all those? Even God doesn't know where the bottom is, right? So therefore, my advice to you is, whatever money you have invested, preserve that. Have faith in the stock market. Have faith in the government, right? Too much of noise in the Indian market. Inflation, sector good, not good, the government's policies, everything. Some market experts also come, right? Yesterday they read a book and today they have become experts, right? So my job as a corporate trainer is to give these statistics to you. So these noises will continue to be there, but you cannot take decision based on those. And my advice to you is to stay invested. Guys, there are so many indexes in the world, and Nifty is one of the best performing index. Let me tell you this. If you look at the last year or look at the last 10 years, no country in the world has performed as good as Indian market. Indian economy is getting more and more resilient. We have already talked about the strength of Indian economy. So much of outflow has happened, 3.25 trillion rupees. But in spite of that, our market has fallen down only 15%, right? And more than that, India is also gaining a lot of importance in the geopolitical world, and that's reflected in the stock market. In the last 10 years, our Nifty has given 240% returns. Indian market. You cannot find any other market in the whole world. It is only Nifty. Jai Hind, Bharat Mata Ki Jai. And even during the last year, 7.8 returns. Look at any market in the whole world. But in our country, Indian market, everything is going on perfectly fine. Okay, anything else? I think I've covered most of that. One thing which I forgot, my friends. The governments, the politicians, the central governor, Reserve Bank governor, everybody is out on the street to control inflation. And we all know that whatever efforts are being put, sometimes the CRR, which is cash reserve ratio, they are being increased. Sometimes the interest rates are being increased. Some liquidity, overnight SDF, which is standard drawing facilities, lots and lots of fiscal measures. All are liquidity absorbing measures, and they want to suck all the money from the market into the system. There are so many things like M1, M2, M3, M4. These are all macroeconomic theories, and I've already put videos on all these subjects in the training academy, Dr. Sadasivam. Don't try to become a big economist by watching one or two videos. You cannot become an economist. Subscribe to Dr. Sadasivam's academy. What is PMI index? What is M1, M2? What is CRR? What is PMI index? What are high frequency indicators? What is the relationship between growth, inflation? Subscribe, and on a daily basis watch all these videos. And I would also like to tell you that the government has been taking so much steps, and we can be sure that the inflation will come under control. And once the inflation comes under control, everything will improve. And even in the world, if you look at it, all stocks have fallen by more than 50%. And if you look at this 50% fall, it is not a multi-year fall. It has fallen in a very short time, that is in the last 6 or 7 months. So it is also expected that there is some kind of a consolidation that is happening, and the faster it came down, the faster it will go up, and everything will be perfect. Crude oil is one of the most important factor which can throw the spanner at the wheels. Oil supply will be okay. The war will also come to an end. have faith in the Indian market, have faith in the Indian government. And this is Dr. Sadasivam signing off till we meet again. Bye bye. Jai Hind.